What's going on, agents? This is Magneto and welcome back to the Hellriders Gaming channel. I was meaning to make this build video a while ago, but to be honest I haven't been playing much Division lately. I totally forgot how fun this game is. So in this video I will be showcasing a build which is an off-meta tank build for the endgame content of Division 2. It took me a while to put this setup together and it really outperforms. So you should check out the gameplay and the detailed build explanation right after the intro. Clearing invaded missions or any mission on heroic and legendary difficulty with all directives set active has never been easier. They are all a joke for this build. It can get a little tedious with controlling the Liberty pistol because the recoil pattern is quite frustrating at times. I play on PC so it's quite manageable. You gotta also make sure to be careful of the flankers. Always look around, know your surroundings and take them out before they take you down first. I prefer playing solo with this build, but you can definitely take this into a group and support your teammates by absorbing damage and boosting their skills with the help of the Artificer Hive. So the main stats you need to know about the build: it has 3 reds, 4 blues and 2 yellows, including up to 5% armor regen, which you get from the max stacks of kill confirmed talent of your backpack, which I will get into it later. 100% disruption protection, and last but not least 150% pistol headshot damage with the talent Headhunter. I want to let you guys know that none of my videos are sponsored, so I would really appreciate a little support if you could like my videos and subscribe to the channel. I've been following the Division 2 game since the beginning and other random games as well. If you're interested in my other build guides, I'll post a link to few of them down below in the description, or you can visit my page and check them out. Alright, so here we go. I'll be talking about the build right now. So first thing I always speak about is the specialization. I'm using the tactician specialization mainly for that +1 skill tier that you get. I've also put points into this, which makes the Artificer Hive available for you to use. This is good for boosting your skills as well as healing your shield when you take it out. This is also very important passive. Once you place your hive down on the ground, you and your allies are immune to shock as well as disruption. And you gotta increase the damage of your pistol as well as your assault rifle, because these are the two main weapons that you will be using in the game. Your third weapon can be anything, so depending on that you can put points and increase the weapon damage. Now coming to the grenade, I'm using an EMP grenade, but you can also switch to concussion grenade if you want to deal damage with your nades. I mean, it's totally up to you. Now my primary weapon, I'm using the named shotgun. It's called the Mop. I really like this shotgun because of its fire rate and it has a fair amount of damage. So the attributes is shotgun damage as usual, damage to armor, and the normal attribute is armor on kill. Since this is a named item, this attribute comes by default. The talents I'm using: preservation, killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds, headshot kills improve the repair by an additional 10%. I use this weapon because mostly I play solo and this really helps in my survivability. Now coming to the secondary weapon, I'm using a named assault rifle. It's called Glory Days. It has a fair amount of damage and pretty good RPM as well. I really like to use this weapon mainly because of its talent. It's called Perfect Nearsighted. Receive 100% stability at the cost of 35% optimal range. This stability makes the gun feel like you're shooting lasers. It's very accurate, very stable. If you're on console, then this weapon is absolutely brilliant. Now coming to the third weapon, I'm using the Liberty Exotic Pistol. So this comes along with pistol damage and damage to targets out of cover, and along with the talent Liberty or Death. Hits grant +2 weapon damage, stacks up to 30 times. Headshots consume all stacks, repairing your shield for 3% per stack. Now how this works is, it's simple. As long as you're hitting the head of the enemy, your health of the shield increases, and the more you hit the body of the enemy and gain those stacks, then you can consume all those stacks by hitting the head of the enemy. So now moving on to the gear pieces, I'm using a DNH mask. It's a named item called Punch Drunk. You get 20% pistol damage along with 15% weapon damage as core attribute, 20% headshot damage, and 10% hazard protection. So I'm using the disruption resistant mod on my mask to increase my total disruption resistance. Now coming to the vest, I'm using Gila Guard, which gives you that +5% of total armor. I'm using the attributes hazard protection and headshot damage for all of my pieces as much as possible, and disruption resistance mod on my other 3 pieces. Now this is a very important talent which you need for this build to work. It's called Headhunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 125% of that killing blow's damage. Damage is capped at 80% of your weapon damage. This is raised to 1250% if your headshot damage is greater than 150. So now moving on to your holster, I'm using Bellstone Armory, which gives you +1% armor regen. Again, I have hazard protection and critical hit chance on this piece. And now I'm using the Memento Exotic Backpack. So now what's special about this backpack is it has all core attributes. That means it has weapon damage, armor, as well as +1 skill tier. This is the best part of this exotic. And the mod slots, I've placed a disruption resistant mod. And as of the talents, if you guys do not know what this talent is, you can pause the video, you can read it, you can check it out. Now coming to the gloves, I'm using the brand piece Yahal gear. So this by default gives you 10% hazard protection. Now coming to the attributes, core attribute is armor, headshot damage, and hazard protection as normal attributes. And the last is the knee pads. I'm using the Murakami Industries, which gives you 20% skill duration. This is mainly used for your hive, and the skill duration is really not important for this build. What is really important is the armor regen, which you get it by default with this particular named item. It's called Emperor's Guard, and I have hazard protection as one of my attributes. So what I did was I recalibrated the core attribute to weapon damage. Generally this comes along with +1 skill tier, but you don't really need that. You need weapon damage here. Now moving on to the skills, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using the Artificer Hive, which boosts skills and heals your armor. It heals your shield every 5 to 7 seconds depending on the number of yellows you have in your build. Now my second skill is obviously the Ballistic Shield. It has all tier 6. Because I have 4 blues and 2 yellows, there's another yellow which is not showing up here. That +1 skill tier which you get from your specialization, and the +1 skill tier you get from your backpack, the exotic backpack. And then once you reach skill tier 6, you will have access to these bonuses: active regeneration, shield health, and holster regeneration. And as of the shade level, since I've reached 1000 shade level, I have put points into everything. I have everything maxed out. But if you're still leveling up, you will have to put points obviously into armor, which increases your survivability. You will need to obviously put points into weapon damage and headshot damage to increase your damage overall. I really like this build because it's very versatile. You can use a shotgun for those close range damage against rushers, and the assault rifle can be used against enemies at medium to long range. And I really love how this build goes very well together with all the other talents. So yeah guys, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope it helped you guys out one way or the other. If you like the content and stuff, make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing as well. It would totally help the channel out. So catch you guys in my next video. As always, stay high, stay safe, and take care.